We've talked before about how upgrading your bike can breathe new life into your riding. So let's crack straight on with the best mountain bike upgrades on a budget. We're starting this one with a bit of a curveball. Taking your fork in for a service or a tune-up is the best way to keep them working in tip-top condition. Any moving part needs looking after to perform its best, and suspension is particularly prone to losing performance through lack of maintenance. Dirt, dust and water ingress can cause oil and grease degradation and contamination, which can all affect how well they work with increased friction and compromised damper performance. A full service costs around the £115 mark, and it's one of the best things you can do for your bike if it's been a while since your beloved suspension has had some TLC. Shimano's entry-level 4-piston brakes offer excellent power and crisp lever feel and plenty of control. Our testers found the action is lighter than that of the XTR and SLX, despite the 2-finger MT501 lever having the same servo wave linkage. In the mid-stroke, it's easy enough to modulate the power, and the range of the lever travel is lower than on SRAM and Mudhugger brakes. At the MT520 caliper end, the pads are held with a small split pin that requires needle nose pliers or a flathead screwdriver to install or remove. The front hose is 1000mm long and the rear is 1700mm, potentially a bit short for enduro and downhill bikes, but you could always fit a longer hose if this was an issue for you. Power-wise, these blow most brakes at a similar price out of the water. The 7-degree back sweep of the Renthal Fatbar 35 make it a good choice for riders who favour the forward elbows out position, and it makes it slightly easier to weight the front wheel. It's one of the comfiest bars we've ever reviewed, and we didn't notice much difference in ride feel compared to the carbon version. At 303 grams, the alloy Fatbar 35 is roughly 80 grams heavier than its carbon competitors, but this weight increase is negligible compared to the weight of the whole bike. The Santa Cruz Palmdales are some of the comfiest grips out there, making them the go-to handholds for several of our testers. A single lock-on collar with a 3mm bolt clamps the grip tightly in place and ensures twist-free use even in the most sodden conditions. The outside edge of the grip has a slight taper to it, which isn't noticeable in use, but it means you can sit your hands right at the end of the bar with total comfort. With a diameter of 31mm, they're pretty thin, but the soft rubber used stops your hands from feeling battered up even after those rough alpine descents. The knurled pattern and sticky rubber help keep your hands in place, while the raised Santa Cruz logo and the lines on the underside add a bit of extra purchase for when you're pulling up on the bar. With a choice of 12 colours and costing less than £20, there is a lot to like. OneUp's latest dropper has an impressively short 554mm maximum extend height in 210mm travel form, only 34mm longer than the RockShox 150mm travel Reaver B1 Stealth Post, despite having 60mm more travel. This means you can drop your saddle lower for the descents whilst maintaining the same fully extended position. With the V2 fitted, we got fewer kicks up the backside from the saddle on steep descents and were able to get further over the rear of the bike. The post performed virtually flawlessly too, remaining smooth and returning consistently. While the V2 did lose some air pressure during testing, topping it up was simple and it also restored it to full performance. The post isn't sold with the lever, but it's compatible with most cable clamped at the bar remotes, so buying OneUp's £49.50 V2 shifter style lever may not be necessary. This worked well and felt smooth though, with a similar size paddle to the RockShox Reaver 1x remote that also came off the bike. Although, if we're being picky, the lever could have had a weightier feel. £249 for the 210mm travel V2 dropper and remote is a cracking deal before you factor in the significant performance upgrade over longer posts with a smaller drop. Testing this post left us asking the question, why haven't we upgraded this sooner? A new take on the variable Slim Jims. The Gusset Slim Jim CNC offers impressive performance and weight at a price that puts them closer to composite pedals than most equivalent alloy ones. The CNC'd 6061 aluminium body houses a chromoly axle that rotates on an LSL bushing and sealed cartridge bearings. A pedal rebuild kit costs just £13. The platform has a slightly concave shape and it's chamfered front and rear. Despite not feeling huge, our feet were stable and supported, which helped improve control and reduced fatigue. Sharp, well-positioned pins provide immense grip and prevent any foot twist. The pedals come with 10 replaceable back-loading pins positioned around the perimeter, plus 8 spares. Would love to see the same design with a slightly larger platform, but for the price, they are great. Of course, saddles are subjective and there isn't one size that fits all, so it's always tough to recommend one, but we recommend trying a few for yourself to find out which suits you. Measuring 280mm front to back and 140mm wide, the S2 M Saddle from Gusset tapers into a slim nose. This provides good clearance and manoeuvrability, but isn't the most supportive for steep climbing. Overall comfort is good, with the channel in the moulded nylon fibre base relieving pressure on those sensitive areas. Padding is fairly minimal and quite firm, but reviewers found it sufficient for all but the longest stints in the saddle. The S2 has a completely flat profile, but the rubber grippers moulded into the cover work fairly well to keep your bum in place until things get too muddy. This chromoly railed model is a great value for your money, but if you've got a little bit more to spend, then take a look at the model with the carbon fibre rails. At £110, it's cheaper than most saddles featuring the same top spec features. Smooth yet accurate, snappy yet forgiving, our testers were consistently impressed by the Hunt Enduro Wide V2 wheelset. The front wheel has a wider rim bed and a lower spoke count than the rear, which we found provides a calmness that helps you hold the line over roots and rock gardens. The result is more speed, comfort and control. At the back, the fast pickup of Hunt's own alloy hub proved reliable throughout testing. Built from stronger 6069 T6 aluminium, the Enduro Wides are on the heavier side, but you'd expect that with the type of riding they are designed for. The rear wheel can come with any type of free hub, as well as a boost or super boost hub spacing. Hunt will even sell you the wheels with Schwalbe or Maxxis tyres pre-installed. And finally, Hunt also offers you a 35% off crash replacement scheme, just in case you take a tumble. This new Butcher tyre uses specialised T9 compound, which provides plenty of predictable traction over dry rocks and roots and hard-packed terrain. There's also enough grip to allow good lean angles despite the relatively square profile, and the tread blocks have great stability even when pushed hard. Although the carcass is thinner than equivalents, such as Schwalbe's Super Trail, it has ample strength for a front tyre. It doesn't flop in turns, and we suffered no rips or tears. On wet trails, the Butcher is less sure-footed though, not inspiring confidence over those greasy rocks and wet roots. While in wet conditions, the tread does pack full of mud and it struggles to shed it. Although on the plus side, it was easy to see and inflate on our test rims. As an all-rounder, for those on a tight budget, it's a very nice choice. The latest shape design of the Mudhugger Shorty Evo makes it compatible with the most modern long travel forks, such as the RockShox Zeb and Fox 38, without the underside of the crown contacting the guard at full travel. The smaller design still gives plenty of protection, but it is usable all year round and lighter. The Mudhugger Velcro straps can be tensioned easily and hold this securely in place for a rattle-free ride. Which is great because no one wants to be on a ride with someone who has a Mudguard rattling about, because a silent bike is a fast bike. So, those are our best budget upgrades, but what are yours? Do let us know in the comments. And, as always, do not forget to like, subscribe, and click that little bell icon so every time we upload a video, you get a notification.